This is noisy Lumen Field, the home of the Seattle Seahawks, co-leaders of the NFC West. Today, they welcome the Las Vegas Raiders. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Seattle. Greg Gumbel along with Adam Archuleta, A.J. Ross along the sidelines with us as always. It has been a better season for the Seahawks than many expected with the departure of quarterback Russell Wilson, but Geno Smith has come riding to the rescue.
Oh, there is no doubt about it. It's pretty simple. Geno Smith is playing some really good football. You look at every metric. He's there near the top in the NFL. You turn on the tape. You see a quarterback that's playing with poise, with confidence. He has two stud wide receivers in DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett that lead the NFL in touchdowns over 20 yards. Here's a couple of his good plays, Greg, that really show his special skill. You see DK Metcalf, he's covered. Smith has to get outside the pocket. Beautiful adjustment, beautiful touch pass, and you got a touchdown over 50 yards. He's excellent in the red zone. Here's the safety trying to shade and give some help over Tyler Lockett. Lockett does his part, puts a nasty little route. They beat the double, and then you get a ball. Perfect timing, perfect location. Geno Smith in this passing game is fun to watch.
Now, the Raiders stand at 3-7, but they snapped a 3-game losing streak last week, and they remain optimistic.
Well, they are hoping, Greg, that overtime walk-off touchdown, the energy, the enthusiasm carries over into this game. It's been a really tough season, up and down for Derek Carr. He is coming off of that 300-yard game last week. There's one thing that has been consistent. It's Davante Adams, who has been quite unstoppable in his last 3 games. This route, a thing of beauty, an adjustment from an earlier play. Both Carr, Adams, they see it and make the adjustment. You have a walk-off touchdown in overtime. That's good football.
Plenty of weapons on both sides of the field. Did I say noisy? Lumen Field will be exactly that. Kickoff is next here on CBS. Welcome back to Lumen Field. We check in for the first time today with A.J. Ross. A.J.
Greg at 6-4 and tied for the NFC West lead. Pete Carroll told me very nonchalantly, that probably sounds good to people who had low expectations of the Seahawks this year. But Carroll's faith in Geno Smith has elevated this team and elevated their expectations, and they feel their record could be better had they not let some games slip away. It's a feeling the 3-7 Raiders are all too familiar with this season, and after a walk-off overtime win against the Broncos last week, they snapped a 6-game losing streak in one-possession games. Josh McDaniels told me learning how to win those games is a process, but it creates a confidence and an energy they're hoping to bring into this matchup today, guys.
AJ, thank you very much. Hey, Tuesday, CBS invites you to bring your whole family together for a new holiday classic based on the best-selling book. It's the premiere of Reindeer in Here, Tuesday at 9, 8 Central on CBS and streaming on Paramount+. Well, Derek Carr had not thrown an interception his last 3 games. He has 4 games of 100 or more yards rushing this season.
Well, I know Seattle, they're anxious to try and get after this run game. Tampa last week, who was not a good run offense, really was more physical and ran straight out that Seattle defense. So
the NFL on CBS is sponsored by KFC's $5 Famous Bowl. That's finger-licking good. State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And by Bud Light, who reminds you to drink responsibly.
Beautiful shot of the great city of Seattle.
Guys, my assumption on the play is that because of the karate kick type celebration, the fact that he makes contact here when he reverses it, even though it's subtle on the shoulder pad of an opponent, that contact there on the celebration would cause them to be calling that an unsportsmanlike penalty, just because of the contact, guys.
Andrew Billings. Hey, it's update time. Let's get you all the way across the country to New York. JB and Nate.
To see what Cleveland did in OT.
That's right. They could play it safe and kick a field goal, but they decided to give it to Nick Chubb right down the gut. And that is your game winner. Browns 23, Bucs 17.
Back to Greg Gumbel.
We have an injured player down on the field. They'll take a look and we'll take a break.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Lowe's. Let's tackle home together this year. And by Burger King.
Welcome back to Lumen Field, everyone. The injured Raider post to the 25-yard line, and we go down to AJ.
Well, Greg, coming into this game, both Derek Carr and Geno Smith were leading the league this year with 5 games with 2+ passing touchdowns and 0 interceptions. So obviously these 2 interceptions are very uncharacteristic for Carr. He came over to the sideline after that second one, and everybody kind of just left him alone. He's a vet. He knows what he has to do to make these adjustments. Even the incompletions have been uncharacteristic for Geno. Geno went into depth in our meetings talking about how he hates to throw incompletions even in a practice, guys. So this is not a typical game for him either.
Yeah. Well, we said at the very, very beginning, welcome to noisy Lumen Field. It is that. Ranks as the 2nd loudest stadium in the National Football League. And if you're going to test noise levels, there you go.
Great, you're a frequent visitor to the Rolling Stones concert.
Very frequent.
Yes. How does it compare to that?
What? Can't hear you.
I think you also probably have a pretty powerful vacuum cleaner. I think yours probably goes out about 110 decibels.
There
I'm sure.
You go. By Amir Abdullah to give the offense a little operating room. Well, if you weren't around when this happened, if you're a football fan, you had to have read about it. Bo Jackson, 35 years ago to the day, an incredible Monday night. The Raiders running back rushed for 221 yards, scored 3 touchdowns, and made a lasting impression on Seattle linebacker Brian Bosworth. He had an iconic 91-yard rushing TD, one of 2 career 90-plus touchdown runs for Bo.
If you're right around my age, give or take a couple years, that's one of the biggest memories from that era that stand out.
Yeah.
Made a big impression on a lot of young people.
On first down. And diving for the ball and making the catch, Devontae Adams, his first catch of the day. We go down to AJ.
Well, Greg and Arch, another person who that Bo Jackson game left a huge impression on is Jason Horowitz, who is the Raiders radio play-by-play announcer and also our CBS colleague. He, in fact, travels around with a Bo Jackson figurine. So his love and remembrance for that game knows no bounds, guys.
I would say so. It's pretty well documented. Has a chance to go up there. One of the all-time drafts. Certainly, Pete Carroll and this Seattle fan base know how impactful it was many, many years ago in the first run for the Seahawks. Got a couple of good-looking tackles. Walker, Bryant, Woolen, making a lot of plays.
The Seattle Seahawks will begin at their own 25-yard line Saturday at 4 Eastern. The 5th-ranked LSU Tigers take on #1 Georgia in the SEC Championship. We'll get you set for kickoff beginning at 3 Eastern with the drive to Atlanta, followed by college football today. It's a championship Saturday here on CBS. A lot of championships in those bones on both sides of the ball in this game. Side of the field, and Metcalf with the catch and out of bounds. Update time once again. Let's hit you back to New York once again. JB and Nate Gross.
Nate, as a receiver, your kind of play?
Oh, yeah. Justin Herbert's going to extend the pocket, rolling left. And, hey, Mr. Carter. Wide open. DeAndre Carter for the 33-yard touchdown. The Chargers lead 14-10.
Line drive kick, he will not be able to return. This one will start at the 25-yard line. We talked about an old rivalry, 56th meeting, including playoffs between these clubs. The Raiders lead the series 29-26. Some great names on both sides of the field. The Seahawks, as I mentioned, have won 5 straight here at home. You could fill a history book with some of the names that have played in this game.
Watch.
And the knee will send us to halftime. Interceptions, touchdown runs, touchdown passes, and we've come to the end of the first half. With the score, 24-20, Raiders in the lead. Halftime is next. After these first half highlights from Verizon and a word from your local station. Welcome back to Lumen Field in Seattle, everyone. 24-20 is the score. The Raiders leading the Seattle Seahawks. Let's take a look at our first half highlight presented by State Farm, courtesy of Raiders quarterback Derek Carr. Off the flea flicker, he finds wide open Mac Hollins, who just Cadillacs it into the end zone. It's a 24-20 lead. Greg Gumbel along with Adam Archuleta. You cannot say that this has not been a fun game to watch, although it's been adventurous for the quarterbacks.
Well, it has. It's been one of my favorite games that we've been able to do so far this season in the first half. I think really, both quarterbacks have had, early adversity, and I like how they've really been able to battle back. Derek Carr threw interception on his first pass, but then really started to get it going. That time, Abdullah, and then the flea flicker back over to Hollins. And Geno Smith, the timing wasn't really there early, but then you saw him really started to dial in. This was a beautiful pass down the field to Tyler Lockett. And the way I look at it, Greg, is, both quarterbacks, almost identical stats. Carr with one more touchdown, one more interception. To me, it really, as I said in the first half, comes down to third down. The Raiders are 5 of 7 on third down. Seattle is only 1 of 4. So that, to me, is going to play big here in the second half.
Across the 20 and out to about the 25-yard line, down to A.J. Ross.
Greg, after getting punched in the mouth with a pick on the very first play of this game, Raiders coach Josh McDaniels called this team resilient. And he said his confidence never wavered, which is why he went for it on that 4th and 2 to end the half. On defense, he's anticipating the Seahawks to play more up-tempo. That's what they saw down the stretch. So they have to keep stopping the run and slow them down. Meanwhile, Pete Carroll says his team has to do better on third down on both sides of the ball. And on defense, they have to do better in the open field, guys.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by FanDuel. Make every moment more. Applebee's Sizzlin' Skillets, starting at just $10.99. And by Visa. Anyone can change the game with the power of Visa.
A little local high school playoff action here in the Seattle area. Some pretty talented football players at the high school level. Welcome back, everyone. 5:03 to play here in the third, and we're tied at 27. Chance to run this one back. And we'll start the 25. Hey, let's take a look at the NFC playoff picture right now. San Francisco leading their game, and Seattle hot on the heels of the 49ers in the NFC West. Washington, a winner today. They are 7-5. In a dogfight.
Yeah, this is a big game for Seattle, because even though they lost their first game to San Francisco, they could still control themselves and win out the rest of the way. They got a big one against San Francisco at home, but if San Fran wins and the Seattle loses, then that one hurts.
Welcome back to Lumen Field in Seattle, everyone. We are tied 27-all with 3:12 to play in the third. Take a look at this dude.
Who's that?
Guess who?
Tell you what, that's a good-looking kid right there, isn't it? Oh,
and
my God, wow.
All of us here, your crew, happy birthday to you.
Oh, you guys.
And many, many more.
You know how to make a guy feel good about himself. Thank you. Thanks a lot, partner.
Hey, our pleasure.
So am I allowed to eat this?
You can do whatever you want. It's your birthday.
I'm surprised you didn't try to smash it in my face.
No,
yeah.
I wouldn't do that.
I appreciate it, big guy.
Our pleasure.
I mean, you can't give me a cake and not expect me to eat it during the broadcast.
I didn't say that. This game is too good for you to ignore it.
That's true.
Happy birthday from
Thank
all
you.
of us.
I appreciate it, guys. Thanks.
Intended for Devontae Adams. Time for another update. Let's take you back to New York City. JP and Nick.
Well, with a name like Pacheco, you better have some fight in your game.
You're right about that. And happy birthday, Adam Archuleta. Here's a gift for you. A touchdown by Isaiah Pacheco. The Chiefs all over the Rams in this one. They are up 20-3.
Adam Archuleta, 25th birthday. Happy birthday, Adam.
I appreciate that.
We're tied 27.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by K Jewelers. Celebrate every kiss with K. And by USAA. serving the military community for 100 years.
Some of the turkeys that escaped Thunderball Thursday live to fight another year.
That's my plan.
Gene Steratore, you're joining us. I just asked Arch, what is an illegal snap? And then we found this.
Yeah, you know what, guys? I kind of liked Adam's answer because it just is not a legal snap. But truthfully, it's either when the center kind of hitches his hands a little with the ball and kind of stutters before he snaps it, something to that effect, that would constitute an illegal snap.
Thank you, Gene. Hey, a reminder, coming up after the game, time permitting, the State Farm postgame show. Join JB, Phil, Nate Boomer, and the coach for all the latest scores and highlights coming up on the State Farm postgame show as Adam Archuleta gets into his cake. The ball goes over to the Seattle Seahawks.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Macy's. Give love, give style. Healthcare.gov. Sign up now through December 15th. And by FedEx, where now meets next.
Visit Seattle, throw a fish. Welcome back, everybody. 8:55 to play here in the fourth quarter. Awaiting the kick. He will not get a chance to return this one. They'll start at the 25-yard line. Gives us a chance to remind you next Sunday, it's an NFL on CBS doubleheader. Playoff implications abound. Early action featuring the Jets and the Vikings. Later, a rematch of last year's AFC Championship game. Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs pay a visit to Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. It all begins with the NFL Today at noon Eastern Time. Next Sunday, the NFL is on CBS. There's the AFC playoff picture.
Cincinnati won a tight one today against Tennessee, and right now the Chargers in a bit of a dogfight, down by 7 to Arizona.
To the near side, and that one too high for Adams to handle. It'll be 2nd and 10, 4:18 on the clock. We've been talking all day long about those one-score games that the Raiders have been involved in. Nobody's better prepared for them than they are.
Yeah, they finally got one last week, and you know, really a lot of their games, it's because the defense has let them down. But they found a way to pull it out last week. Derek Carr played well in the fourth quarter and in overtime, and a lot of those players were able to step up and make plays.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Verizon. Visit a store today for our best deals of the year. And by Coors Light, made to chill.
Back at Lumen Field in Seattle, the Raiders have 2 chances to go 5 yards.
Quarterback, that is not a good coverage to play.
Quick reminder, tonight on CBS begins with 60 Minutes and the science between dog and man, followed by new episodes of The Equalizer, East New York, and NCIS Los Angeles tonight on CBS.
Whoa.
Covered it at the 10-yard line.
Oh, man.
Update time in New York. Let's take it back to JB and Nate.
A winning Chargers decision.
That's right. Instead of kicking the extra point, they go for 2, and they get it done. Herbert to Gerald Everett for the 2-point conversion, and that right there wins the game for the Chargers, 25-24.
Back to Greg Gumbel.
Yeah.
Greg, Derek Carr has orchestrated 26 fourth-quarter comebacks and led 32 game-winning drives in his career. I asked him about those moments, and he just lit up, and he said it reminds him of when he was a kid throwing with his dad, pretending it was a game-winning touchdown, and he dreamed about playing on a big stage like this. He wants this responsibility, and he said it takes a certain sort of confidence that builds over time in these moments, and he believes he can win in these moments every time, guys.
Yeah, AJ, he said any kid who's ever played sports dreams of moments like this one. Josh Jacobs in the backfield. 6 yards.
Josh Jacobs is an absolute savage. Look at the block by Jakob Johnson as fullback. And Jacobs, who has been just a man possessed all game from the first quarter all the way to the last play, has just been dominant, and for the second week in a row. Last week, Devontae Adams. This week, Josh Jacobs with a walk-off touchdown in overtime. Josh Jacobs is a beast.
Jacobs, 33 carries, 228 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Vegas moves to 4-7 in the AFC West. Seattle falls to 6-5 in the NFC West. What a game. Longest play of the season for the Raiders. 86 yards wins it. Final score 40-34. Tonight on CBS begins with 60 Minutes, followed by the equalizer East New York and NCIS Los Angeles. For Adam Archuleta, AJ Ross, Gene Steratore, and the rest of our crew, Greg Gumbel saying so long from Seattle. You've been watching the NFL on CBS.